Now I want to take a moment while I'm on the screen to talk about the things that I felt the game needed to work on. We noticed there's a bit of a lack of stages, and we've noticed that the stages are smaller than they used to be. We've noticed that our combos, when we do them, are harder to perform like we did in the previous iteration, because the amount of time that an opponent spends in the air in single player is less than it was in DOA 5, and also we found that opponents generally fall down quicker from, attacks and stuff. So what we're finding is our approach to play with the cramped environments and our lack of combo friendly mechanics in the game all point to you have a super and you can use this. Now, speaking about the super, Game Central also said that, or the review also said, that the super had a super powerful move. So let's go check it out. What did they mean? I said it did 4 points of damage, and I said you can do that anytime you want. Let's go have a look at it. So as you can see there from that little clip, 4 damage. I think I had one a little bit earlier that did 5, but it was near the fence. But you understand the point. It's not super powerful, really. It's not. The review says it is, and it just isn't. And you can see the damage there, where on the right hand side of the skill info, where it says advantage +0, combo damage 4. Right, that was the damage 4. So one of the things mentioned in the review was about the costume unlock system, saying that the more sort of revealing stuff took longer to unlock. Okay, so the costume unlock system rather is a bit weird in this one. You don't get a whole costume unlocked when you complete something like you used to do back in the day on DOA 3 or DOA 2 Ultimate or whatever, or DOA 4. What happens in DOA 6 is you get costume patterns, right? So if we go into the wardrobe here, my characters that I use is Christy, so we'll have a look at Christy's costumes, and you can see here that for this one there's a locked symbol and it says 0 out of 100. So when I complete something like arcade mode, or I complete survival, or I complete time attack, or I fight online, or I do the DOA quest mode, I'll unlock some costume patterns. So you can see this bar here, it's filled up slightly, and I have 200 costume patterns out of 500. When I reach 500 for this particular costume, then it will be available for me to get. However, as you can see, it doesn't go in order. So costume patterns are attributed randomly and not in order. This one is available to buy. Now this one costs 3,000 because that unlocks, I've got the costume patterns, and so it has a points thing there, and it costs 3,000 points. You also build up your points, as you can see, with the P just under the words costume at the top left hand side. So I have 62,740 points. So that one was way more expensive than this one. So if they meant that it takes longer to get them because they cost more, well, as you can see, it's entirely random. So you may well get a costume unlocked that costs a lot more than one that, that's quite cheap. And that goes, They're gonna patch it, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna make it that the character you use will have the costume patterns unlocked for it. At the minute it works completely randomly, where you might get a costume pattern for Bayman for something, or you might get one for Kokoro for something, or Rydell, whatever. It's just absolutely random, and it's random as to expensive ones, and it's random as to inexpensive ones. So I don't know what they meant by that. It's just factually wrong. The game does not work like that. So some of the things that they could have covered in the review, I've mentioned before about the mechanics and the focus on the super and the sizes of the arena. I think it's worth mentioning at this point that we need more stages. As I've mentioned, tag mode isn't here. So when we're going to set up a fight against a random opponent, don't care, we can see that the amount of stages really isn't very much, considering some of these stages are linked. For example, here in the Abbey you can kick your opponent down into the Hidden Garden. So these two stages are kind of linked. This is one by itself, which is just the ring. This is one by itself, which is just the ring. This is linked to below the ship as well, so you can get below the ship. This is linked, this has 3 parts to it. This is just like a little 2-floor museum with a couple of older stages in it. The DOA Colosseum, which is just the 1 stage. Road Rage, which kind of has destructible cars which open up little bits of the same arena. This one is basically the Crimson from DOA 2 Ultimate, and I think it was DLC for DOA 5 as well, but it's just dressed up differently and for Chinese festival for some reason. There's this one, this one, this one, and there are not many stages at all. So that's something that could have been discussed. The lack of stages, the lack of tag mode. Tag mode is a favourite of mine and my daughter's, because as I've said before, we played tag mode for years on DOA 4 and DOA 5, and we love our tag mode, our sessions. Some of it's really quite funny.